Hello, everyone. How you like my summertime haircut? It was getting a little hot here in Georgia, as you've heard me complain about on previous videos. Anyway, here we are with Eat Me, episode 5. We're going to talk about arresting headlines, slug lines, subject lines, etc. I lost my train of thought for a second. Man, I gotta get better at these live intros. Good thing I'm doing these every weekday, huh? Anyways, so one of the things that I think people get confused about, especially when it comes to subject lines in particular for email, there's a tendency to conflate visual interest with contextual interest, right? And there's a difference. What I mean by visual interest is that, especially in a place like the inbox, where your subject line is literally one out of many other subject lines viewed like 50 at a time or whatever, you want to understand what your audience's inbox looks like so that you can visually break the pattern that would otherwise be in there. So if they generally have a bunch of very long subject lines, yours can be short and it pops out of the field of other ones, and vice versa is true too. If they typically have a bunch of short subject lines, a very long one might grab attention. So the visual element is something to keep in mind. That's true for, sales pages too, especially in print. If you want your key information to basically slap them in the face. So visual elements are huge as far as getting attention, but that doesn't say anything about the content itself. So what can we say about the content? By the way, I'm not driving. I park when I do these. My car is just my mobile air conditioner. So I'm not driving. I don't like to, tell people how to do their business, but that's dangerous. Don't do that. Anyways, when it comes to the content of headlines and subject lines and slug lines and all this, there's basically the goal of that piece of information is to let the reader know immediately if they want to continue to read whatever it is that headline is associated with, right? Even if it's like a Facebook ad and it's a clickable link or whatever, that slug line needs to give the reader some reason to continue, right? So there's 3 ways to look at it. The first reason is the headline expresses to them that the article or whatever it is that the link leads to answers a question that they already have, right? The second thing it can do is it creates an unanswered question in the reader's mind, that the implication is that question that you just popped in their brain is going to be answered in, whatever it is that follows. Or the third thing is if you can manage to do both of those at the same time, where they already are interested in whatever it is the article is about, and the headline indicates that they're in the right place, but it also adds an additional twist, another question on top of that makes them think, okay, well, now there's something I don't know and that bothers me, so I know where to complete it. Now, you can look at many different variations of formulas and syntaxes. I even have my own that I use and teach for writing headlines, but really it's about doing one of those 3 things. Either it immediately conveys to the reader, hey, a question you already have is answered here, or it makes them ask a question that they hadn't considered before and obviously implies that the answer is within, or it does both. Look at headlines to have been successful with that eye and think, okay, well, is this being pitched at an audience that already is looking for this, and does the headline let them know answers are inside, or is it creating a new question? The most interesting ones are going to be the ones that create a new question, and those are the ones that are especially effective as subject lines in email and slug lines for ads, where the content is not immediately browsable when you read the headline. So like an email, you're reading just the subject line, you got to click on it to read the rest. Same thing with an ad. If you can get those to create a question in the reader's mind that's unanswered, those are ideal for that, because they actually have to take an action instead of just, taking a second to continue reading what's on the page. Within that context, I do want to urge you to not play games with people. Like a lot of people think it's funny to do jokes in the subject line that trick you into opening it, and then like the joke's not that funny, so they feel like you've wasted their time. Don't do that. That's not cool. Also not cool is using things that will create an unanswered question, like, your payment or whatever, right? When that's not really something, like you're just trying to trick them into opening it. That does effectively create a question in your reader's mind that makes them open the email, but then they're mad because you tricked them. There wasn't anything of value. So that's the real trick. If you want to use the curiosity hook of implanting a question that they now must get the answer to by opening, you have to deliver something of value that makes that pay off. It doesn't necessarily have to all be in that message. Obviously, you want to leave something for them to buy or click or like or subscribe to or whatever it is that you're trying to get them to do. But something in the piece has to pay off what the headline promised, because otherwise you're cheating them, right? Like you're making them ask a question that they need the answer to, and then you're not giving it to them. That's not going to make them want to keep continuing to consume your material. So that's your homework for the weekend, I guess. Go ahead and look at headlines to be successful, headlines you find fascinating, subjects that get you to open, ads that get you to click, and think about how those little tiny pieces of information are making you have a question in your mind that's unanswered that you have to pursue. And the better you get at phrasing those questions, the better you'll get at writing headlines and subject lines and things for yourself. That's it. Oh, also, clickbait headlines. You see them all over social media. Clickbait headlines are pretty direct, because they'll be like a slideshow of celebrity, fart disasters. You won't believe number 3. Like, the you won't believe number 3 thing, of course, creates an immediate question some portion of the audience needs to have answered about celebrity fart disasters. But really, I like formulas that sort of break things down and make them general enough to spot. And to me, I feel like this is the most elemental way to look at successful headlines is, how does it hook the curiosity, in the sense that after you read it, you now have an unanswered question in your mind that the only way to get the answer is to continue reading. Within that, as long as your headline does that, the structure, the shape, the font, the color, most of that doesn't matter. That's about grabbing attention. But if the information in it creates an unanswered question in the reader's mind, the reader has a choice. Either I don't care enough about getting the answer, or I'm going to have to keep reading this just to find out what the answer to this is. And I guess that part comes with your targeting, your ad targeting, whether or not the answer is going to matter to the right person, right? So that's it. Thank you for joining me on this last week of the first week of these little Eat Me live lunchtime videos. I'm going to continue to do them if you tell me that you like them and you want me to. And if you do, I will see you on Monday. Same place, so if there's a little thing that says subscribe or whatever, click that. And if you can like the page, click that. Whatever you can do to keep getting them and letting me know you like them, because as soon as I feel like you're bored, I'm going to get bored and I won't keep doing them. But as long as you keep liking them and watching them, I'll keep doing them. So that's it for today. I have been your host, Colin Theriault from the Cult of Copy. And thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.